mouth. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but if you notice over here on my left shoulder is a radio, and whenever Nina and I are out hiking, we keep we keep in contact with the radios, and we find that it's done more to ease the stress hiking than anything else. We're able to quickly get a hold of each other, report to each other when we are, and this is not like the normal FRS radios that really only have like about a quarter-mile range. These radios can go miles and miles and miles, and that makes it a lot easier as long as we don't have too big of a hill between us. Also, it gives us hope of being able to call rescue if one of us gets hurt or something like that. And we can pick up the weather when we're out hiking for multiple days. So right here, up here at the top of the hill, we're starting to see different plants that you haven't seen before. This is a mint. You can tell a mint because it has square stems and opposite leaves. There's another family called verbena, which is similar, but it doesn't have square stems as much. The thing that's neat about mints is they're almost all edible, and they make great teas a lot of times. The only thing is, different mints have different flavors. They're not just spearmint and peppermint. Some taste better than others. I'm going to try this one out and see how good it is. This one has a kind of mild flavor, a mild mint flavor, and then a kind of a bitter aftertaste. It's not the best mint, but since it's like 1 o'clock now and I'm starting to get hungry, I think I'll eat a little bit more of it, but I'll probably polish it off with some of that yerba santa if I come across more of it. Out here in the sun, there's another mint not 10 feet away from the last one I just talked about. Now this one, you can see again the square stems, oftentimes pubescent and opposite leaves, and these kind of flowers. Now, whenever you see the multi-layered flowers like this, these are often bergamots. I really don't know exactly what this one is, but since I know that most mints are edible, or almost all mints are edible, I'm going to go try it out. I doubt it's going to taste very good, because these plants that have to live out in the sun tend to put in like creosote in their kind of compounds, or tarry compounds in their leaves to reduce the amount of water that they expel, and those, we don't find them very tasty. But if you notice, there's bees humming all around here, and that means that inside the flowers there's usually some nectar. So if I were really hungry and desperate, I'd pull off the nectar, pour out the flowers, and try eating those, and I would get the nectar in there. Yep, just like I thought. Tastes terrible. So I wouldn't advise eating this mint, but if you're hungry, you can eat any mint. One trick that I use to keep the amount that I have to carry down is to carry less food. You really don't need to replace all the calories that you're going to use during a particular backpacking trip. You probably have plenty of extra calories stored in your midriff and your body fat. And even the thinnest people can lose a couple pounds. And so just cutting down on the amount of food you carry is no big deal. Plus, as I've shown, you can find a lot of really good things along the trail. But this right here is basically what I've brought for the 2-day backpacking trip. I got some tandoori whole wheat naan, a little bit of cheese, a couple pro bars, and some. So here's my lunch for today. I'm gonna have, if you notice, I've had 1 ounce of my gel, and a little bit of cheese, and this tandoori roti. The thing about this particular cheese, it's a hard dry cheese. You want harder dry cheeses when you're carrying them because they don't weep. They'll keep very well whenever you're backpacking, and so you don't have to refrigerate them or anything like that. The roti is good because It's flat and it's already squished down. It's not like a leavened bread, and that makes it easier to pack, and you don't have to worry about it getting crushed or anything like that. And it's also whole wheat, so that makes it really good. In this morning, when I was shooting the video segments, one of the things that I didn't show being loaded into my backpack was the cold weather gear that I brought. Even though it's early spring and it can still be kind of chilly out there at night. It was in the low 40s last night. So I didn't show this being loaded into my backpack, but these are the things that I'm carrying to deal with the cool. I have a sweater here. It's one of these Polartec sweaters. And it doesn't have any wind resistance, but it does provide a great amount of warmth. So I'll wear that while I sleep too, which means I can carry a lighter backpack. Over here, a hat is almost always necessary. This happens to be a windstopper hat. There's nothing really special about it. And over here is my soft shell. That I'll use as my pillow while I sleep, and it's great because even though it's not the most insulated, it provides really good wind protection, and it's easily ventable so I don't get sweaty, and sweaty can mean too cold whenever you're hiking. Another thing that I do to cut down on weight is, if you notice my legs are bare right now, but I have zip-off trousers, and so I'm really only wearing shorts now, and I'll zip on the legs when it gets cold at night. One thing that happens is you get dirt into your socks, and that grinds up, and it can make it so that you get more blisters. To help avoid that, I have these little teeny gaiters that I wear, and they help keep a lot of the dirt out of my shoes and make it so that I'm comfortable for longer distances. Instead of wearing hiking boots, I have trail running shoes, since I'm running almost all the time anyway. One thing that I hate about moving up from the riparian zones along the creeks to moving up into the chaparral is there's a lot more of this stuff. Now, every hiker should know what this is. This is poison ivy or poison oak, depending on where you live. And it causes a kind of dermatitis. One of the greatest things that I've discovered over the past several years there's come out on the market some much more advanced substances that will unlock the oil from poison oak to remove it. One very popular brand is called Technu, but recently I've noticed that Cordate has come out with these towelettes that you can use to wipe off the oil. So I brought some of those with me because I pretty much expect I'll be getting into it sometime, and I really don't want to deal with this contact dermatitis. There's also some other stuff I brought which is in my medicine kit, and if we see a lot more poison oak than we are right now, then I'll get it out. It's the stuff called Ivy Armor, or Ivy Block, and you can rub that onto your thing, and it evidently makes it so that the poison ivy or poison oak oils do not stick to you, and you can wash them off and be less likely to get a case of contact dermatitis. Well, as we move up out of the basin again, I'm starting to see different species, and here is another mint. Now this one, notice how it's not as reduced leaved and looks like it doesn't look like it's trying to hold on to its water. It's a much more lush mint. So I have a feeling that this one's going to taste a lot better than the last couple that I tried. We'll see. Yeah, it's a pretty good peppermint kind of flavor. Kind of mild with a little bit of a bitter aftertaste, but not bad at all. That one's a good one. I'll have to eat more of that a little bit later.